Don't stress, live life one day at a time. Don't drink or drug and you'll be fine.
Welcome back to Staying Sober with Papa Joey. Today I want to talk briefly about how do you know when you hit rock bottom. Somebody sent me an email and asked me that question. And, that comes up quite a bit throughout the years of, my sobriety when people would ask me, how did you know when, you hit rock bottom? Everybody's different, so I can't say, well, here's when you'll hit rock bottom. Because for me, I can only speak, of course, for myself. I had many times hit what I thought was rock bottom, but I proved myself wrong. I went lower and lower time and time again. And I had a lot of rock bottoms. All right, there were times I probably should have quit drinking maybe 10 years earlier than I did. And I was 32 years old when I quit drinking. So, yeah, I probably should have stopped in my early 20s because I was hitting it hard. If you heard my story, started drinking around 12 years old, musician, yada, 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 drank a lot. And that's all I focused on was drinking and did that pretty well. Unfortunately, got into a lot of trouble even before I was 22, but I just kept on going. And I got my first DUI, or my only DUI, when I was 21. And at that point, other people told me, you need to stop drinking or it's going to get worse. And I said, yeah, okay. I'll be more careful. I wasn't. I did a lot of stupid stuff within those 10-year periods of time. Got arrested, totaled a couple of cars, lost a lot of relationships, got into fights. I was a musician. I had people that wouldn't play with me any longer. I should say hire me to play drums for them any longer because of my drinking. Now, I didn't know I had that big of a problem, especially when I was playing drums, but I was thankful that somebody pulled me aside one day and said, hey, listen, Joey, love playing with you, but you drink way too much. By the end of the night, you're all over the place. And here I was thinking, man, I'm a great drummer. Who doesn't want to play with me? Well, I lost a lot of gigs. I won't say who the person was, but I auditioned for this band, and I got the gig. I had 2 gigs. I got drunk on the first one. I had to play the second one because it was the day after. Got drunk at that one. And I got a phone call the following day saying, hey, man, listen, this is not going to work out. Thanks a lot. And I was pissed. But looking back, I was drunk. He didn't know it. He didn't know I was a drinker. I just went and auditioned for him. He really didn't know me. The first gig I played with him, I showed up about 5 hours early because I knew the place that we were playing at. So I got in, set up. And, hey, man, I have 4 hours to kill. So I figured just 1 or 2 beers, just to calm the nerves a little. Yeah, well, those 2 beers turned into probably 8 to 10 before we started playing, which is never good because I really didn't know the material that well. And being that I had one hell of a buzz going, I really wasn't learning anything. And I could see the frustration on some of their, faces. Luckily for me, the guitar player next to me was kind of like guiding me along, telling me when there's going to be a break in the tune or what the next song was going to be and stuff. So, looking back, I probably should have said, yeah, I want to keep playing, but I just kept on drinking. I always found a reason to, when I hit the bottom, figure I'll climb back up out of that hole and go at it again, but maybe just be a little bit more careful, a little bit more cautious. Maybe not drink as much, like control my drinking, but it never happened. And the interesting part was when I got to AA and I started listening to what other people would share in the rooms and then talking with other people, everybody had a different bottom. Something happened in their life where it was like that aha moment. Now, some of them, shared that they had 1 DUI, and after that, they were so afraid they were going to lose everything, their wife, their kids, their career and everything, that scared the shit out of them. And they decided to, quit drinking, which was a great move. Others had some medical issues because of their drinking. So for them, that was their bottom. After you hit your bottom, whatever that bottom is, you have to go, yeah, I get it. I can't do this anymore. And that bottom has to be, like, for me, I'll just say for me, my last drunk, and when the next day when I heard about what I did and acted like an ass and all that crap, and which I did before, but looking in the mirror, tears strolling down my face, and I just knew I was done. Something was inside me, and it just said, "You're done. You can't keep doing it. You can't keep doing it." So you got to get to that point in your life where you have to realize you just got no more fight in you. And it's different for everybody. I wish I could tell somebody that's your bottom. You have to get so honest with yourself where if you don't stop drinking or using, then something really bad is going to happen to you. And are you willing to take that chance? See, I wasn't willing to take the chance anymore because normally, I got drunk many times, got in fights with friends many times, pissed people off many times, did stupid things many times, but within a day or two, I was like, okay, everybody will forget about that. And, hey, after all, it's Joey. Come on, man, that's what he drinks. He's a drinker. Funny guy, but yeah, sometimes he'll drink a little too much, and then he shoots his mouth off where he thinks he's a real tough guy and everything. But so, people kind of put up with me. But it got to the point where I just couldn't put up with myself anymore. And I think that's what your bottom maybe should look like. Sometimes, I looked at my drinking years ago, and when I got sober, it was like a relationship, right? I had a relationship with my beer. I loved my beer. But sometimes I'd have too much of that beer, and then it got to the point where I hated it. It's kind of like, if you're in a relationship with a man or woman, whatever, spouse, you're in a loving relationship, everything is going great, and then all of a sudden, shit starts happening, and you start looking at that relationship differently, and you start asking yourself, am I really in a healthy relationship? And if you can catch a bad relationship early on, you have a chance to get the hell out, right? And I think a lot of people have done that in their life. You're involved with a person, and something will work out right, and you got out. Others, sometimes, keep going back to that bad relationship, get into a marriage, and sometimes it's good, or sometimes it gets even worse, until finally one day somebody goes, I've had enough, and they walk away, right? And maybe that's, in a relationship, that's somebody's bottom when they look at where their life is headed because of the relationship they're in. And then they go, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. I thought I loved that person. There was a lot of good times, but I just can't do it anymore. Kind of like when, we drink or use. Now, I didn't use, but, I guess the high is still the same. When I was drinking, everything was great, man. Everything. I thought I was having a blast. I thought I was always having fun until maybe the next day where I woke up and like, oh my God, my head hurts. And then I get a phone call, hey, you all right? And I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? What's up? Oh, no, man, you don't remember? What? No, you went outside, you started fighting, or, did you get home safe because you left with that woman? This is before I was married. And I was like, oh, man, who did I go home? And you start realizing, what am I doing? What am I doing? But that relationship that I have with my beer, my best friend, was important to me. And for a lot of years, I felt like it was my buddy. Okay? When all the shit hit the fan in my life with anything else, I know I could always go to the store, pick up a six-pack, and chill out. And eventually I felt better. And back then I was smoking too, which was stupid. But it took my last drunk for me to finally realize that it was over. The day after my last drunk, like I said, I just realized I can't do it. I can't do it. And it was different this time. It was different for me because I felt it. I just felt it. Now, you have to get to that point in your life where you go, I can't do this. I can't do it. I'm done. Yeah, it may be a little scary, but it's over. You got to walk away. Now, what's interesting is, I've been talking about some of these courses out there, these programs, and because of all these ads are popping up on my Facebook account. But they're in people's faces telling them, you got to quit, you got to quit. Does your life look like this? Your life look like that? Listen, that don't work. When people were yelling at me and screaming at me, telling me I got to quit drinking, I got to change my ways, I need to do this, I need to do that, I just drank more. I don't want to listen to people bitching at me. I knew I had to do something, but I had to do it for myself. So when I see these people pushing these programs, they're hitting people most likely when they're at a weak moment in their life, watching something online, probably drinking or using, and somebody pops up and they go, oh yeah, that's me, man, that's me. I really could use your help, drinking or whatever, smoking. But you got to get to the point where you want it. You have to get sober for yourself and nobody else. And your bottom will be when you're ready. I just wish, and I mean this in all sincerity, I just wish I would have stopped years prior. Okay? I most likely would have still been married. Maybe. Who knows? Other things could have happened. But, when I look back, I caused a lot of pain in my life. And again, I quit when I was 32 years old. I'm 64 years old now. But I can still remember some of the hurtful moments of my past, which is one of the main reasons I stay sober to this day and never went back out, because I just didn't want to go back there. I don't give a shit how bad my life was at a particular moment during my sobriety. I knew if I put a drink in me, it's going to get worse, way worse. So for me, I don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. There's no freaking excuse for me to pick up a drink. So figure out for yourself. Don't let anybody tell you got to stop. Because everybody will tell you that. Don't let anybody make your decision for you, because most of the time, if somebody makes that decision for someone, it doesn't last. The person has to know when their bottom is, and then they have to just say, I give up, and then move forward. And there's plenty of places out there for you to get help. And again, I tell everybody, or I'm going to start telling everybody once again, because of all this crap that I'm hearing or seeing online, walk into an AA room just to check it out. Or if it's drugs, go to NA. If you don't feel comfortable there, go to your church. If you don't feel comfortable there, look around online and see if there's any place close to your house where you can physically meet with somebody and talk to them about what's going on in your life. If you got medical issues, go see your doctor. Okay? I'm not going to, definitely not giving any medical advice. And when my book comes out, there's a part in it where I just tell you to just go get quiet someplace and think about what's going on in your life. And if you, at that moment, can say, yeah, I still got some more drinking left in my life, or I still got some more drugging, or if you can finally say, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. It's like a boxer. keeps getting beat up, keeps getting pounded. Maybe a few times you got some victories, but there's a couple of heavy knockouts where he finally says, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not taking a chance. You got to get to that point. So your bottom is whatever you want your bottom to be. I would suggest if you're thinking you've got a problem with alcohol and there have been some issues in your life, don't do what I did. Don't go through more chances, because eventually it all catches up to you. And then who knows? I lucked out. I mean, I really lucked out. I had a family that no matter what I did was always there for me. But, I was just lucky. So I hope this helps anybody who's wondering, when they hit bottom, but only you can answer that question. And again, if you need any help or anything, feel free to email me at soberpapajoey@gmail.com. I don't charge anything. And if you want to have me give you a buzz, a call, not a buzz, but a call, or you want to just set some time up to talk, so maybe you have some questions, and hopefully I can guide you to the best way that maybe you can go. I'd be more than happy to do that. Again, I'm not looking to make money from anybody doing that. So till the next time, don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. Take care. Bye-bye.
Think about your serenity. Be grateful for your sobriety. Staying sober with Papa Joe.